Hello and welcome to the AV Wannabe, a podcast where I introduce my sister to movies she's never seen before. I'll be your host, Brad, and this is my sister who has been rotting away in an afterlife waiting room, Aubrie.
Welcome to the club! Our first Halloween episode!
We decided to go ahead and do Halloween October, and we're starting it off with a big one. This is beloved by a lot of people, Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice. Don't say it one more time.
I was just about to.
I know, you can't not. It's like not playing the last note of the happy birthday song. Something's just not right.
It just doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
Beetlejuice. Aubrie, have you seen this movie before?
I have not seen Beetlejuice before.
What'd you think?
I loved it.
Yeah?
I love a Tim Burton movie.
There's a stink that comes with the Tim Burton movie that is, it just reeks of Tim Burton.
And I want to smell it all. I love...
You didn't have to hop onto that analogy.
I love Tim Burton movies. They're weird and creepy or quirky or... I don't know. They're strange.
Yeah.
But, like me some strange. It's fun. What a fun movie. I don't know if I'd call it a Halloween movie.
I don't think I would either.
But, like, Beetlejuice is so associated with Halloween. And, like, I know where I work, like, when it starts to become Halloween time, they, like, release a bunch of Beetlejuice-themed items. And then my Instagram feed is full of Beetlejuice. So, like, definitely it is associated with this season. But I don't know why.
I don't understand it either, especially after watching this.
Do you think Tim Burton movies just get lumped in to Halloween? Do you think he appreciates that? He's like, I always thought I was more of a summer myself. And he's just now lumped into fall.
It's just a tragedy for Mr. Burton.
Could be. Have you ever seen Beetlejuice?
Before we watched this movie, I would have said I hadn't. I think I did.
Oh.
But I think I was really young because I remember that entire first scene, the Barbara and Adam.
Oh, right. When they're like living in their life and they're like vacation at home.
Yeah. I remembered all of that. I remember that little model city or town. And I even remembered parts of Lydia and stuff like that. I definitely remembered the mom. So a bunch of it was hitting me when I was watching the movie, but I forgot everything. Like when I'd see it, I'd be like, oh yeah, I remember that.
Right.
Yeah, I had seen this movie before.
Cool. Well, good, because that's this podcast.
I know. At least we're maintaining that, that
consistency here.
The continuity is pretty
spot on.
Thank you. I can't word today.
It's been a rough time.
Yeah. This movie is still strange to me. Like all Tim Burton movies, they're just like so jarring to me every single time I watch them.
Yeah.
They leave me feeling weird. I feel weird when I watch them.
Why?
I don't know. Like, it's honestly just a taste thing. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with this movie. I mean, I think there are things wrong with this movie.
Okay.
But at the same time, I don't think it's a bad movie. You know what I mean? And I don't want to like disparage it at all like that. Like, if you love this movie, love it. It's just like, I don't think I would ever turn it on again. You know what I mean?
No, because I would turn it on
again.
Yeah,
okay. So
I find like Tim Burton movies rather comforting.
Yeah.
Familiar.
It has a good message that it says in this movie. Like, that's the thing. Is like, I agree with a bunch of the things that this movie says, and I do find it enjoyable. I just don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good movie. I enjoyed it. It's just one of those movies where I'll probably watch it again in 5 years or something like that. But it's not going to be like I watch it every year for Halloween.
Gotcha. I liked it. I love the soundtrack.
Soundtrack is iconic. Like, it starts off with those trombones and stuff. Love it.
So strange. That's like calypso music, right? Like is that what that genre is called?
I don't know. I don't wear combat boots.
Well, I don't think that. I don't think that. I don't even think people that listen to that music wear combat boots. I think it's like Afro-Caribbean like
Oh,
type of music.
you're talking about the
Like all
the
the
6 foot, 7
right,
foot.
the
Yeah.
the Harry what's his name? Harry Belafonte.
Yeah, that stuff was definitely that.
That's what I'm talking about. Like it's such strange music to put in there. I wouldn't think of Beetlejuice, and then if you didn't tell me what any of this music was going to be in it, I would have picked something like creepier or more of like brass or strings, not something more classical maybe. Not the music that was in there.
Yeah, when they start saying, mainly using that Deo song, where it's
Yeah.
like, Deo, I wasn't expecting it either.
Yeah, but I love it.
It was great. One of my favorite scenes was that dinner scene.
Right. It's such a good, fun scene. They're all dancing and they're like confused, but they're kind of into it.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it either. Like when they're like, we're going to go scare them or whatever. I was like, all right. And then they start messing with them that way. It was like even better because it was like, oh yeah, she doesn't want to be embarrassed and stuff. And
Yeah.
yeah.
I love it. It like didn't make sense, but then it happened and you're like, oh no, this fits. This is like two things that were meant to be together.
Yeah, I enjoyed that so much. You're right. The music was very quirky, kind of like the movie too.
Right. And I think like it's what helped its quirkiness. I think without that kind of music, it would have been a very different tone throughout the whole thing. It needed something to like pull it back up into like, something lighter, something funner.
Especially seeing it's dealing with death
Right.
this whole time, which is like a very popular theme with Tim Burton.
Yeah. He also
likes-
uses the same color palette.
Yeah, I mean, you stick to what you're strong with, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's dealing with like death this whole time and even suicide. A big part of
Yes.
it's suicide. It's able to stay upbeat and fun for most of the movie.
Yeah. I will have to say, this is not what I thought this movie would be.
What were you thinking?
I think I was thinking it was going to be more like a Drop Dead Fred kind of movie where
Yeah.
Beetlejuice is going to be this like buddy, like, I mean, he was the savior, but I mean like more of a savior, like something more lighthearted and like going to be their friend in the end, even though he was weird and they didn't want to be with him in the beginning, and that they were going to be like all BFFs in the end or something.
Especially seeing the title of the movie is his name.
Right.
You expect him to be more in the movie,
Yeah. He was only in this movie for 17 and a half minutes.
which is nothing.
Yeah. Not at all.
It is not long at all. And you're saying like you're expecting him to be buddy and stuff like that. I was expecting it too. After the movie's over, I'm left with the impression that he was kind of the bad guy in this film.
I think he was.
Yeah, it's
But
not
he saved them, technically.
after he insisted on marrying Lydia.
Okay, let's talk about that.
It was a bit weird.
Why? Why did he have to get married anyway? And why did he choose a minor? And it made me feel very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I was cringing,
Yeah.
but also his stupid jokes were kind of funny, like with the wedding ring on the
I thought it was
dead thing.
hilarious. I thought all
Yeah.
of his bits were astounding. They were
Yeah.
great.
and like Lydia was pulling it off well, constantly having to put her arm around his and stuff. But at the same time, you're like, this is a minor.
Right. I think if I was like younger, it would be like, that's funny. But
Right.
now that I'm older, I'm like, that's just wrong. That's
Right.
not okay.
So when I was like going through reading some stuff, it's insinuated because Beetlejuice worked for what's her name at that office.
Juno?
Juno.
Mm-hmm.
He committed suicide because you only work as the civil servant if
If
you
you
commit
commit
suicide.
suicide.
It's insinuated when Lydia is wanting to kill herself that he killed himself because of love.
Oh.
So that wedding ring that you see on that finger is the person that he was gonna marry
Oh no.
or something like that. That's what I read. I don't know how,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was confused. I was like, why does he have to marry her in order to switch places or something?
Maybe the
Till
deeper
death
thing.
do we part. Her dress is red because there was an old saying that says married in red, better off dead. So maybe by marrying each other, they swap
Well, I was thinking maybe he was trying to save her. So
the civil servant duties.
yeah, like I think they might have been insinuating that he's actually good deep down, and he was trying to show her that it's not better to be dead and there's more possibility in life. Because if she died, she would have had to be around people like him all the time.
Yeah, that part was strange. It lost me a little bit there.
Yeah, it was very strange. And if it wasn't for that like person saying, "Oh no, he he was doing all this stuff on the internet," I probably would have not liked a bunch of that.
Yeah, that's my
So,
like biggest issue with the movie is this wedding bit. But it's also like one of the most iconic because there's so many things, I don't know, merchandise that is this wedding scene of the red wedding dress and in the striped suit.
yeah, I mean,
So it's like the most memorable and iconic scene
yeah.
that's branded Beetlejuice, but it's the strangest part to me that I don't like.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that black and white vertical striped suit. It's what they even used for the animated series. Like that's his look.
There's an animated series?
Okay, yeah. I'm guessing you never saw it after that response.
No.
I remember watching it a lot as a kid. I think it came out early 90s. I'm not even sure. But I remember I'd watch it after like Sonic the Hedgehog or before Pokemon or something like that. And I remember like the feel of Beetlejuice being totally different in that series. Like,
What it feel like a Scooby-Doo or something?
yeah, well, I mean, yeah, very similar to those cartoons where it's like Beetlejuice is a trickster, you know what I mean? And Lydia kind of is like,
Are they married?
no, they're not married. They're like friends.
Interesting.
And they're like tagging along with each other and stuff. And he gets into antics and Lydia like tries to fix him or whatever, but not really. So it was like a totally different dynamic than was from this movie. And I was very confused for a while there.
Interesting.
Which is another reason why I was expecting Beetlejuice to be a totally different character.
Yeah, that would make sense. I liked all of the characters. I thought Barbara and Adam,
The two main couple.
I thought they were so cute. What a cute little couple.
They were great.
I like how they're hiding in the attic the whole time.
Next to his little model.
Yeah, at least he's got his model to keep busy,
Yeah.
He really likes that model. He's even working on it still in the end.
I know, right? I mean, it was a really cool model.
It was a really cool model. I love a diorama.
I like the interaction between the two of them so much.
Yeah.
I mean, it felt very newlywed.
It was sad when they died.
I think they were murdered.
What? By the dog? Because they were.
I mean, first off, we never get to see this dog ever again.
Not a good boy does not sit.
No.
Nah, who am I kidding? He's a good boy still. Did you see his little fluffy face?
He just murdered two people.
That's all right.
We got a little murderer out on the loose.
The cutest murderer ever.
Death by cuteness.
Oh, man.
But yeah, we never find out whatever happens to that dog. But I think they were murdered by that real estate agent.
Wasn't that their family member?
She said they were like family to her.
Oh, but they weren't actually family.
I thought she said they were like family to me.
Oh, I thought she said their family.
Maybe they were.
I don't know. Either way, why do you think she did it?
Because she wanted to sell that house. She wanted the money, commission, whatever, from that house.
Yeah.
Blood-sucking thief.
Realtor.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I don't know realtors well enough.
And I was like looking this up because the whole time I'm like, this realtor murdered this nice couple. And according to easy reading on reddit.com, he thought the same thing. He thought that she cut the brake line so that it slowly would lose pressure and then release the dog on that bridge, that covered bridge. That way you couldn't see what was coming around the corner. When they tried to brake and turn, all they had was turn and no brake. and then they went off the edge. And I think he's onto something there.
The dog?
No, easy reading.
I don't know. We see this dog earlier. Like when they first pull into town, he's in the way. This dog is always in the way. Like when they roll into town, they almost hit him there because he's just like wandering through the streets. Whose dog is this? Get a leash.
I'm telling you, it's the realtor's dog.
I don't know. It was strange how he ended up in the tunnel, but he's just wandering. There's dogs that wander around here. He was just out for a stroll.
Yeah.
Wrong place, wrong time. I don't know. I'm just sad for them. They had such a fun little cute car. Their house creeped me out. But it was such a fun little car. And then they drowned, but their windows were open. So I feel like, and they were both very skinny people. I feel like they could have gotten out through their windows.
They could have got knocked out, though.
That's true. But it wasn't that big of a fall.
It didn't look like they were wearing seatbelts.
That's true.
They could have hit their heads against the metal car.
Yeah.
Which could have knocked them out. No one else was running to that car, so they could have just inhaled some water and, drowned within a couple minutes.
Yeah, that's very sad.
About them being dead because of drowned, they're the only two characters that are dead that we don't see why they're dead in this movie.
Yeah, they look normal. Everyone else is like horribly dismembered or something.
We can see a version of how they died.
Yeah.
In the original script for this movie, they were supposed to be wet the whole time.
Oh.
But Tim Burton decided that would have made the actors too uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So he scratched that part.
That's nice.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's so uncomfortable to be in wet clothes. And you'd be cold and you'd be like pruny all the time.
And it's just like, oh, you're not wet, bucket. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I'm glad he made that decision for them.
Yeah, I just wanted to point that out while we were on it.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
I liked Lydia. I liked Beetlejuice. Even though he was strange, he was funny.
Yeah, he was
very funny. And then I didn't really like the parents. I thought they were boring. I think I like Beetlejuice the most. He made some stupid jokes, and I'm all about a stupid joke. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that character a lot.
Michael Keaton did a great job on that character, Beetlejuice.
He did a lot of improv. They let him just kind of go for it. He did a lot of ad-libbing, and he just really spiced up that character for them.
What goes on in that man's head to come up with all of that stuff?
I don't know. Because everything else I've seen Michael Keaton in, he's been rather serious.
What have you seen Michael Keaton in?
I don't know, but I can I can picture him, and he's like chewing gum, and he's in a suit, and he's like scowling. I don't know. I think he's a Spider-Man.
Well, he's in Spider-Man. He's a Birdman.
Oh.
Or the Vulture. He's Vulture in Spider-Man.
Okay, that's not who I'm thinking of.
The Andrew Garfield Spider-Man.
Oh, I'm thinking of the Tom Holland Spider-Man.
Maybe he wasn't Tom Holland Spider-Man. Yep. Nope. Tom Holland. You're right.
Tom Holland.
Homecoming.
Why is Beetlejuice spelled Betelgeuse?
I always get it wrong. Betelgeuse. It's like Betelgeuse or Betelgeuse. No. Yeah.
Goose?
It's a constellation.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. And I also think it also has some stuff to do in mythology because most constellations derive from some sort of like, mythology or something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. I know I've heard that name besides from Beetlejuice. I know I've heard it in other things.
Okay, well, let me help you out because I have this fact and I was just pretending that I didn't so that you could say the fact.
I don't have that fact.
You're right. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it is a constellation. It's in Orion.
Yeah.
And it means the ninth brightest star.
Okay.
So I don't know why they picked it, but that's the constellation it's in, and that's what it means. That was my fact.
There we go. Betelgeuse is the ninth brightest.
Yeah. But I still don't understand how they turned it into Beetlejuice. And like when he's like trying to advertise himself, it's spelled
Betelgeuse.
Yes. And then they're like, oh, that's Beetlejuice. I don't know how they got there. I wouldn't have been like, that is Beetlejuice, because it's spelled completely different. I don't know how they came to that conclusion, and they're like, yep, that's right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Maybe he just changes his name. Because at first I thought his name was originally derived from Beelzebub.
What's that?
I think
What's that?
I think he's like a demon in hell or something like that.
Oh, that would make sense. Yeah.
That's what I thought his name was at first. Like, I was like, oh yeah, that's Beetlejuice. I was like, that's got to be that like demon in hell. I'm like, no, wait, that's Beelzebub. Totally.
Beelzebub. These are fun names for demons.
And I was like, totally different name. And then I was like, I know I've heard this Beetlejuice thing from somewhere.
Well,
Might have been in a cartoon.
Could be. I just don't know how they got there. Like, they're like, that's Beetlejuice. And
It makes it sound more fun than it is.
it is so much more fun.
Especially when he was like trying to charades it.
Yeah.
He's like, look behind you. It's a
Beetle. Hey, how's it going?
poof.
Oh, it's so funny.
That was a pretty good scene. Yeah, everything that he did was just like...
It was funny. I loved how he's trapped in this diorama for some reason.
Very odd.
I don't know why, but I like how he's trapped there and they have to like dig through the cardboard, the particle
And they
board.
show it.
It's so funny. It makes sense though, because when he had that like Wild West commercial, the grass looked weird and I didn't understand why the grass looked so weird. And then we go into the diorama with Barbara and Adam and then it's that grass and I'm like, oh, okay.
Makes sense now.
Now I know why. I don't know why he's stuck in there though.
It sounded like he was hiding.
It's a good hiding spot. I loved it. I loved how everything was so tiny and they like picked him up and he's like itty bitty. It's so cute.
I liked when there's that like the brothel there.
Yeah, out of nowhere.
And she's like, why would you make that? He's like, I didn't make that. Beetlejuice made it.
It's very funny. Yeah,
Uh,
and he's just chilling in his graveyard, all cozy.
It definitely feels like something out of a child's imagination, this
Yeah.
movie.
Well, maybe.
Really?
Really dark child.
I mean, you have dark thoughts sometimes, but like all the humor
Oh, yeah.
and like even the setting of the movie feels like something a child would think of.
Yeah. All the people in the waiting room, waiting in the room.
All dead like.
All that, like, I don't know why I thought so many things were cute in this movie, but all of those people in the waiting room, I thought they were so cute. Like the little burnt man smoking.
Dude,
His little arms were so cute. And he's so calm and so kind. And then the guy with the shrunken head, I couldn't stop giggling when I saw him. It was so funny to me.
they are nightmare fuel that was tamed down to where you can laugh at it.
Yeah, for sure.
Like each one of those characters could be a nightmare,
Mm.
but they made him in a human, like, empathizing way to where you're like, oh, okay. The shrunken head guy is just patiently waiting and he's surrounded by a bunch of people. You know what I mean?
It's so cute. It's so cute.
Yeah. I felt very awkward for that shrunken head guy.
Well, that's why I was looking at her weird. She's like sitting on him and he's like, excuse me, ma'am, you're sitting on me.
She's sitting on his armrest and he's like, I was here first.
He's giving her some side eye and then she like is all offended when he's looking at her and it's like, no, he has every right to be looking at you right now.
You're in his bubble.
You are in his zone. 6 feet, ma'am. 6 feet. Social distance.
We're in a pandemic.
Mind your gap.
Yeah, no, I liked him a lot. I liked the burned alive man where he's like, you want a cigarette? I also like that he just spoke normally too.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
it wasn't like,
Yeah.
I thought that was great.
It's very amusing to me.
Very amusing. I loved the footballers.
Yeah.
Where they're like,
Coach.
Which way to the bathroom, coach?
I'm not your coach. He survived.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
I thought those lads were very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first time they were in the waiting room, there was an announcement over the PA system.
Flight 305, or is it 30?
409.
I was so close.
Do you want to tell me about Flight 409?
Well, I read it, but I didn't write it down because I thought it was too decrepit to put on here.
Oh, I wrote it down. I thought it was interesting. It's an interesting thing.
Tell us about it, Aubrie.
Okay, so Flight 409 was a real flight. So when they announced an incoming Flight 409, that's a real flight everybody died on. It was from New York to San Francisco. They crashed somewhere in Wyoming. Nobody knows why. 1955, 66 people died. It was a United flight. Really old plane. Propellers. Not very reliable. Or is it? I don't know.
I think the propeller ones are very reliable. That's why they still use them for small flights. Because they require less maintenance than the jets.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Well, this one didn't get enough maintenance because it went down.
Yeah, it happens. You learn from them.
I don't know why they put that in there, but it was quite fun, I thought. I mean, it's not fun for those people. They all died.
Not fun for those 66 people.
My condolences.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I thought it was fun that they put real life stuff in a weird fake movie.
Yeah, I think they had a couple other things very similar to that they were putting in the background.
Yeah.
Like that's this movie. It's like they're taking horrible things and trying to make light of them.
Right, but not in a distasteful way.
No. Yeah.
Or is it distasteful?
I think it would be very distasteful if
it happened to you?
If it was like, say, I died in Flight 409 and you saw this movie. It's like, Flight 409 coming inbound. You'd be like, oh, Brad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be. Or I'd be like, you made it in, buddy.
Yeah, maybe it was probably wrong to use you as the example. I need somebody with more humanity. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see how this would be offensive.
But that could be with anything, really. Like the burn victim. I'm sure burn victims, well, I don't know about that. Maybe they would have been like, yeah, I would like to think that my uncle, who had a really good personality, would still have that funny personality, even in death. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're all dead, so what do they
Yeah.
got to be bitter about? They can't fix it.
Yeah,
It's already there.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's a choice, and I'm glad that they didn't back away from a bunch of those choices they did.
Yeah. I feel like Barbara and Adam are very calm when they go into this waiting room and they're seeing like people cut in half and there's rattlesnakes and people's sleeping bags and stuff. And they're just very
I
calm.
felt so bad for that
Oh, I
camper.
know. Why is the rattlesnake still there?
He
Did the
probably
rattlesnake die too?
You know, he didn't make it long after that. Apparently,
At least they have each other.
yeah.
Yeah, they're just so chill. I would be like probably freaking out, but I mean maybe they're dead, so why freak out?
Maybe they would have freaked out if they went there immediately.
Ooh, yeah.
But the fact that Adam and Barbara sat in their house for months, dead, not
Yeah.
having to eat, it's like they kind of got used to the idea of being dead. So when they saw all this other freaky stuff, they're probably like, You could see them getting more and more adjusted to it the longer that scene went on.
Yeah, you're right.
Did you notice that Jack Skellington was in this movie?
Yes, he was on the little, what is that, a canopy? A carousel?
I thought it was his hat.
But it turned into like a canopy carousel, right?
Yeah, something like that. But you noticed it.
Yeah, he was on the top, yeah.
Yeah.
I noticed a lot of, I mean, it could just be because like Tim Burton,
Yeah.
but like, what were they?
The sandworms.
Sandworms looked very reminiscent of a wreath in The Nightmare Before Christmas.
The snake, and they eat up presents and stuff.
Yeah. It all looks very similar.
I mean, it is his designs.
Yeah, so I think that's just his like little trademark of Tim Burton. It's him.
Yeah, I mean, I was reading about it. Tim Burton, I guess, been drawing that Jack Skellington
Aw.
for a while.
Uh-huh.
It's in other movies of his. It's in James and the Giant Peach.
Oh, yeah, I could see that being a Tim Burton movie.
Yeah. So
I didn't know that.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah,
You got-
I thought it was great fun.
Got to see Jack Skellington in there.
Nice little Easter eggs.
Mm-hmm.
Also, since we're talking about Nightmare Before Christmas, the stepmom, what was her name?
What was her name? It was I don't know if they actually said her name, but it's Dalia in here.
Yeah, okay. So Dalia, played by Catherine O'Hare. She's the voice of Sally and Shock in The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I like her.
I do too.
I like her in a lot of things.
Well, the only other thing I could think of that she was in Home Alone.
Yeah, she's Kevin's mom.
Yeah, that's the only thing I could make the connection to. I don't know. I mean, we've already established that I don't watch movies. So that's the only thing I think I've seen her in.
She's in a lot of stuff. I mean, I just can't think of them right now.
Yeah.
You know? But with her, I read that she met her husband on this movie.
Aww.
Yeah, they're still married.
Beetlejuice is such a romantic movie.
Yeah. So Tim Burton helped hook him up.
Nice.
Because I guess she I think it was the art director or set designer or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And that guy didn't think they were allowed to talk to actors. And on the final day of shooting, Tim was like, hey, you should go talk to her. And then they dated and then got married in 92.
Aww.
Yeah.
What a nice story.
Still married.
Cute. That's a long time.
Yeah. They're hanging in there.
Good for them.
It's going to be like 30 years in another 2 years. I did like how it ended.
Yeah, I loved how it ended. What a fun ending. Another great fun song.
And you see Lydia's changed.
Yeah.
She's no longer gloomy and depressed about everything, but she's like happy.
Yeah. I love how Barbara and Adam are like actively in her life and they're like friends, and even her parents are okay with it. They've redecorated the house again. It looks great. I love that. I love how this relationship bubble has formed where they're all good for each other.
I also like how it's essentially for Adam and Barbara, their unfinished business is like not having a family.
Yeah.
And Lydia is essentially helping them cope with their unfinished business.
Yeah.
Which I thought was very cute.
I think that's nice. Yeah. And it's like because I mean, I feel like her parents weren't giving her what she needed or wanted emotionally.
She wanted a family.
Yeah. So Adam and Barbara were able to be those parent figures that, helped her study and was curious about what's going on with her life and stuff.
Yeah.
I thought that was really nice.
So did I. I liked how much Barbara loved her.
Mm-hmm.
And how they kind of like slowly learned to like each other.
Yeah.
It felt very natural.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Their whole relationship felt very natural. I liked it. I liked this movie. I'd watch it again. It'll be in the rotation.
For everyone that doesn't know, Aubrie has a movie rotation. This movie rotation consists of 10 movies. We don't really know how many movies it is. We just know it's a very select few. And she rewatches these movies constantly throughout the year. And it's like, what do you mean, Brad? What do you mean by constantly? It's like, she'll start up, I don't know, Monty Python and the Quest for the Holy Grail.
It's a great movie.
And she'll watch that movie over the course of a week or over the course of an hour or two. You know what I mean? It varies. It varies on her free time. She'll just rewatch her favorite movies over and over again. They don't stop. It's like her watching The Office. The second she hits the end of the series, she starts back up from the beginning, and then it just carries her throughout her life. It's just a mixtape that never stops playing. So the fact that this is breached into her top 10, which I think we'll just call it your top 10, even if it gets up to 25.
Yeah.
Means that this is a good movie. Aubrey's always going to watch this for the rest of her freaking life.
Yeah. Pretty much. I feel
wow, this is big. This is a big movie for you.
It was a good movie. I really liked it.
Yeah.
Especially, I guess I technically have 2 movie rotations. One's holiday based and the other is just whatever.
Yeah.
This could easily go into either rotation, but definitely every Halloween I'm going to want to watch this movie.
Yeah, you should. And you can invite me every third Halloween.
I'll pencil you in.
All right.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I like to put movies on or something if I have I'm usually pretty busy. Not now. I'm not busy at all anymore. But usually when I was busy, I'd have only 10 minutes in between things. Not enough to start up anything new or do something different or just, pull out any project. So I just put on a movie I've already seen. I know I'm going to like it. I know it's going to make me laugh or feel good. And I just put it on, and then when I have to stop, I don't feel like I can't stop it. I just stop it because I know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's
Well, that's good. I'm glad that you found a new movie to put in that top 10.
Yeah, I liked it.
I'm surprised you didn't lead with this.
Oh, well, I was saving it for the end.
Seeing we're towards the end, you want to start up fact time?
Yes.
Fact time. All right, Aubrey. Do you have any facts left over?
I have one.
Hit me with your fact.
This movie was almost named Scared Sheetless because they were trying to figure out what to name the movie because they didn't love Beetlejuice, and they were going to name it... What were they going to name it?
Haunted House.
Haunted House. And then Tim Burton joked, how about Scared Sheetless? And then they liked it a lot, even though it was just a joke. Was that also your
No.
one fact?
It wasn't Haunted House, actually. House of Ghosts.
Well, glad we're on the same fact page.
Yep. That was my fact. I had one fact left over, and it was that one.
Real short fact time today.
We talked about the movie. We kind of integrated our facts throughout the movie anyway.
Yeah.
I think it's better that way.
I think so too. I could see fact time phasing out.
Yeah.
It's more natural if we just say them as we go.
Right. Instead of saving them for the end and then rehashing everything.
Right.
But the budget for this film, $15 million. And it made $74.2 million in the box office.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Commercial success. I could see why it had an animated series about it.
Yeah.
They've been trying for decades to make a second one.
Ooh.
And it looked like it was going to actually happen, but then it got shelved in 2019.
Why?
I don't know.
That was pre-pandemic. They have no excuse.
I don't know exactly. I know that Winona Ryder, she said it was gonna happen, and they had Michael Keaton signed up for it and everything like that. But that was 2013 when they were talking about it. And I mean, they tried earlier than that, but it's one of those things that just doesn't happen. Yeah. Some people want it to happen, but it might just be better if they leave it alone, kind of thing.
Maybe. I mean, this one was so good, and there's such a risk making something so far down the line of ruining it.
And honestly, all the effects used in this movie, except for I could think of 3 or 4 of them I could think of, when the head shrinks and stuff. But most of the effects are stop motion, and they hold up just as well as they did when you first saw them.
Yeah.
So I mean, even the thought of a remaster of just remaking the whole film, I don't even think you need to do that. I think think so either. I think the film holds its weight still.
Right. Well, and the jokes are still funny. The effects are still believable. They still look good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel the need for a second one.
I don't feel the need for a second one. It's been too long, first off.
Right.
And I don't see the need to remake it.
Yeah, they tied up all their loose ends.
Yeah. This is a good standalone film.
Yeah.
Just leave it as that.
Yeah.
Maybe in a few decades, I would have a different opinion. Because I'm never going back to see Casablanca. Even though it's a film that didn't have any special effects or whatever. I just don't have any desire to see it.
Have you seen it?
No.
Oh.
Have you seen Casablanca?
Yes.
Oh.
No, I haven't.
I was not expecting you to say yes.
Of course I haven't.
But yeah, it's Monty Python and the Holy Grail. That movie is hella old.
Yeah.
And it still holds up.
Yeah.
Just because of the way it was filmed, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did well. Still think it's good. Rotten Tomatoes. Do you have a number in your head?
For my rating or Rotten Tomato? What I think Rotten Tomatoes would have rated it.
I want you to come up with a rating, whatever number you want to come up with.
So is this mine or what I'm guessing Rotten Tomatoes did?
Oh, we're going to do this kind of game? Okay, guess what Rotten Tomatoes gave it?
Okay, I think Rotten Tomatoes would have given it like a 78.
Okay, and what do you think it...
I would give it like a 96. Nah, 94.
Okay, so you guys are... I mean, it's not far off from your number.
Uh-huh.
The critical response gave it an 84%.
Oh.
So it's not far off,
A
honestly.
little average there.
Like, I'd say once you get to like 85% or whatever, if you're rating it higher than that, that's your own preference. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty close to yours. Audience gave it an 82%, which is odd. I would have thought the audience would have gave it a higher percentage.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah.
I like Beetlejuice. I think I'll go find myself a striped suit.
Oh, you're gonna be Beetlejuice, not Lydia?
I just want a striped suit. Who doesn't love stripes?
Well, I mean, you could either be confused as Jack Skellington or Beetlejuice.
You know what? I think I have some pants already that could go either way.
You know what? I think you do.
I think I have a couple.
You were already living the Beetlejuice lifestyle.
Before I knew it.
Yeah.
Before I knew I needed it.
Yeah, that's probably why you liked him so much, is because he was like emanating your fashion sense.
I can relate. I'm like, ooh.
I like that style.
Look at that.
Green is one of my favorite colors. Especially when he dressed up in plaid and khakis.
Love plaid. I don't like khakis. That was funny though when he's like copying.
Oh,
Adam.
look, we shop at the same department store.
That was funny.
Yeah. Well, next week we got to come up with another Halloween movie.
Halloween.
So we'll see you guys then. And hopefully you're still around.
Please come back.
Don't forget to bring your
Death
death certificate back.
Hurry back.